I'm Devin and I work on Sean Terry's Dispo team. My role is essentially I take care of all of the marketing for the team. I market our properties. I will reach out to buyers, realtors, whether that's on texting platforms or over the phone, and I set up all of our showings. I also take care of all of our contracts and any paperwork that needs to be signed. I get that sent out. So essentially that is my role. So both myself and my team member Kylie take care of all of our welcome calls. So once we get a property moved over into our little area, we'll reach out to sellers, kind of walk them through the process again. At that point, acquisitions has essentially set up for us to do a welcome call, and they pretty much know what the process is going to entail, but we just reiterate that for them, and we'll let them know kind of the schedule of the showings, get a feel for their schedule so we can get everything set up, and we'll make sure we keep open communication with them the entire time throughout the closing process, so there's no questions or concerns or anything like that. So we also build a good relationship with our sellers as well. Essentially throughout the whole time, we're always keeping communication with acquisitions as well. It's never just, they get a property under contract and kind of drop it into our laps. We're always communicating back and forth with each other, whether that be notes that we leave in our online platform or direct messaging with them. We're all a very close team, so we'll, give each other a call, message each other, come back to the office and meet up with each other. We're always pretty much in the know of what's happening with a property, and sometimes, a seller might go dark in the middle of trying to sell their property, so we'll have acquisitions try to step in and help us. So we're always kind of stepping in and helping each other with, whatever we can. Typically, we're the sole point of contact. We like to keep it to where once acquisitions does get a property under contract and pass it over to us, we're kind of taking that baton, if you will, and, finishing with the property. But like I had said, acquisition sometimes needs to step in and help us, whether that be with a phone call to kind of get the seller back into cooperating with us if they're kind of, weird or iffy. And then once I and Kylie get a property walkthrough scheduled and a buyer does go in, potential buyer does go in and do their walkthrough if they are interested in it, then at that point the baton is kind of passed to Josh, and Josh is the one that's reaching out to both buyer and seller, letting them know, kind of what's up. But for the most part, we're all, somewhat in the mix, communicating with sellers, communicating with buyers. Acquisitions is the only team that doesn't ever really speak to buyers. That's more us. So we have both, our hand in the buyer pot and the seller pot as well. So I will speak to buyers myself. My role is essentially I'm marketing the property out to various potential buyers, whether that be on texting platforms, direct calling them. We'll reach out to local realtors, cash buyers that we know of. So I'm reaching out to all of those people. If they are interested and do want to do a walkthrough, I'm coordinating with both potential buyer and seller to do a walkthrough of the property. And then at that time, if they are interested and they do want to put in an offer, then I would kind of pass them over to Josh, and Josh kind of wraps up the whole deal with them. It really depends on how many properties we have on the board. Sometimes we are absolutely flooded and inundated with properties, and you really have to, it's almost like picking your battles. You have to go into the beginning of the day, deciding what property can I be most efficient on and get the most work done on, work on that for a day, and then maybe the next day you switch it up and work on a couple new properties. Right now, we're actually kind of in a transition period where we sold basically every property that we had on the board. So my role right now is kind of stepping in and helping Liz, our title coordinator, out with whatever she needs, because this is the most properties she's ever had to work at one time. So the thing I like about working with this company is that while we do have our set roles, we will jump in and help wherever we can. So it's never the attitude like, that's not my job, I don't do that, that's not my role. We will step in and help wherever we can if we're not busy at a certain time. But yeah, it really just depends on how many properties we have on the board and where those properties are located. If we have properties and we're lucky and have properties in huge, amazing cities, those will sell quick, and it doesn't really take I hate to say it, but it doesn't take a lot of effort. If we have some properties in smaller towns, we're really strategizing the best way to market to local people and kind of get that property out there so people can see it, whether it's advertising on Facebook, reaching out to local realtors, things like that. So it really, the thing I like about it is that not every day is the same. Every day is different. I would say that the biggest piece of it, and it seems so simple, but it really is the key, is just the way that you present yourself, the way you communicate with people, the relationships that you build. So a transaction will go so much smoother if there's like a great relationship built from the acquisition side, and then it's transferred over to us and we build an even stronger relationship with that seller and potential buyer. So you always have to be communicating with both sides of it so no one's left in the dark and there's no surprises at the end of a closing. If you're able to do that, then it makes the whole process so much easier. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments.